Muy buenas a todos, soy Mayachi, bienvenidos a un juego, bienvenidos a Sherlock Holmes día Weekend. Vamos con este juego que parece que es un remaster por lo que he estado leyendo un poco, juego del 2000 poco, y bueno, acaba de salir hoy mismo día 11 de abril. Buenas a todos, he vuelto de unas pequeñas vacaciones y bueno, pues me han enviado el juego, lo tenéis para PC, Xbox y PlayStation. Vamos a jugar la versión de Xbox, que así sé que va a funcionar bien, sin ningún problema. Agradecer a la desarrolladora que me envió el juego y 40 pavitos tienen la culpa. Está en castellano. Y bueno, pues tiene reseñas positivas. Un juego de... Ya probamos uno en su día. Pero el otro se quedó ahí un poco... Creo que se quedó un poco... Bueno, abandonado. ¿Para qué lo vamos a engañar? O alguna cosa que no me terminó de convencer del otro juego. Y este, bueno, pues esperemos que... que nos enganche suficiente. Dicho esto, pues vamos a darle cañita y vamos a... Hombre, Dante, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Te había visto, me había fijado. ¿Qué tal estás, tío? ¿Te has dado las vacaciones? ¿Todo bien? Bien, ahora bien. Pues ni... Imagínate. Yo más que jugar con el crío. Al Hulong y al Fortnite. De hecho, un profesional de Fortnite. Cero construcciones, pero profesional. Pegando tiros con el crío. Ganando partidas. Alguna que otra. Pero oye... Pues soy un poco bajo, ¿no? A ver ahí. Capítulo 1. Las sombras sobre Londres. Creo que sí. Del 2009, me parece, o...
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Tenemos la bienvenida. Usa LS para moverse y pulsa para interaccionar con los objetos. Muy bien. La tensión entre Inglaterra y Suecia está escalando. Tras una serie de percances desafortunados durante la reciente visita a Londres de la princesa sueca Hildur. El mayor de los escándalos fue la vergüenza de los cuerpos diplomáticos británicos tras la desaparición inexplicable del guardaespaldas personal de la princesa. El miembro veterano de su círculo más cercano se aventuró a explorar Londres mientras estaba libre y nunca volvió a su paseo nocturno. Un portavoz de la policía le asegura al The Decision que están seguros que lo encontrarán, ya que es un miembro llamativo del pueblo escandinavo. Un hombre así llama la atención, ya sea la de otros subclubs para caballeros o en las aves nocturnas que les consulan.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes. Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
Parece que nos vamos, ¿no? Estoy viendo. Vístete con algo más apropiado para este tiempo. Abre el libro de casos. Desplázate a la pestaña del ropero para colocarte un sombrero. ¿En serio? Ya está, nos bajo un paraguas. Yo, súper.
If you come across one of my drafts, please leave it in the bin.
Me supone que tengo que ir. Stand. Ah, el contenedor, vale.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
Sí, ese ha sido súper. Sí, ese de hoy.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness. Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson?
Cool, now I can take the day off.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. and all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears, if you have more shillings. Get the strand.
Tienes una pregunta en
Get
tu
your copy
página
of the
mental.
strand here.
Abre el libro de casos. Desplaza el página mental una vez dentro. Fija las medias pruebas correctas para responder a las preguntas. ¿Quién arruinó el de Strand? Vale. Ya lo hemos leído. El joven de periódicos no vio mucho, se dio cuenta de un hombre sospechoso que se acercaba a la casa y luego oyó un estruendo. Dijo que el hombre estaba arrollado en nuestro portal después, pero el chico de los periódicos lo perdió de vista por su clientela. Un montón de libros. Cuando tragó el correo de la mañana, pero falta de Strand. Se deshizo de él antes de entrar al edificio porque las páginas estaban manchadas.
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
¿Cómo se hace aquí? Las preguntas claves de cada capítulo se harán durante la investigación. Las segundas muestran el parcial mental. Responde a todas las preguntas para poder continuar con el siguiente capítulo. El icono de barra estados te notifica que hay una nueva pregunta que debes responder el parcial mental o que tienes suficientes pruebas para responder una. Pulsa. Joder, vaya Cristo, ¿no? What? No me entero. Va, buenas, ¿qué tal? El chico de los periódicos dijo que el mes sospechoso llevaba un montón de libros y que esta mañana se me pensó el primer local tiene una novela, Doctor Watson. Espera, captus. Sí, uno del 2009, creo, sí.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Prueba a encontrar la librería.
How about that Vogel fellow? He
Get
seems
the
rather
strand. Get
obsessed.
your copy of the strand
Would
here.
he do something like this?
¿Dónde está la librería?
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
¿Le pintaron de qué es?
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
On rare occasions, Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
Bookshop. Esto es una librería.
Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal.
Pulsas los ojos, consecuencia de trabajar demasiado. Peluquín. Consecuencia alopecia. Tinta de periódico. Calza hacia la izquierda. Coño. Pero de dos colores. Adelantó para su época. Se apoya mucho en la pierna derecha, dolor en la pierna izquierda. Tacones, quiere parecer más alto. Vaya, tío, macho. Señor Barnes tiene bolsas en los ojos, resultado de no dormir y del estrés. Ha desarrollado una cojera posiblemente por un ataque. Lleva tacones para hacer más alto o más fuerte, seguramente para evitar futuros ataques. Alguien está amenazando al señor Baines y puede que sea alguien esté involucrado en una conspiración en mi contra. Si hubiese desarrollado una cojera y tiene bolsas en los ojos, resulta de las horas de trabajo intenso. No tiene demasiada confianza en sí mismo, intenta parecer más alto con tacones. Parece poco probable que alguien así pueda estar involucrado en un asesinato, aunque la tinta de las manos parezca indica que es el quien construyó el periódico. No obstante, el señor Baines podría ser un plan mayor, sin ser consciente.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
¿Se ha pirado?
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood. So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Catálogo de plantas exóticas del mostrador de Barnes. El nombre del creador puede leer plantas eternas para un amor eterno.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
¿Esto qué falta, tío? What?
The finest view London has to offer.
Joder. Yo qué coño sé, macho. Esto que no cuadra. Esto es que no lo he hecho bien, ¿no? Joder. A mí no tiro nada, tío. O sea, esa está bien, ¿no? Las flores muertas parece que está bien.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Hostia, no entiendo nada de mecánica, tío.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original. The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall. I should have worn something warmer.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin? The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Se amortiguó con algo.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Evita el contacto visual o está distraída. Broche de luto en honor al marido fallecido. Botas limpias. Se ha cambiado el calzado al llegar. Hostia, no estoy preparado para ese tipo de juegos, tú. Necesito un poco más de acción. Tela de lujo. Un poco común para la ropa de trabajo. Su maquillaje para ocultar las mejillas manchadas por las lágrimas. El vestido está hecho con tela cara, que no se prueba para trabajar. Su calzado no tiene restos de barro. Debe habérselos cambiado cuando llegó. Si bien ocultar su pesar vistiéndose de forma extravagante, sigue llevando un broche de luto. Recuerda a su difunto esposo. Su mirada siempre perdida en la distancia revela un desapego emocional. En conjunto, puede concluir que la señora Fleming se sigue resistiendo a una trágica pérdida. Broche de luto recuerda a su difunto esposo. El vestido está hecho con una tela cara que no se prueba para trabajar. Su calzado no tiene ni rastros de barro. Debe haberse cambiado cuando llegó. Sus ojos inspeccionan la calle constantemente como si estuviera buscando algo. Quizá esté esperando a alguien. A la vez que la señora Fleming alberga el recuerdo de su difunto esposo, está intentando pasar página como sugiere el maquillaje y el bonito atuendo que lleva. Quizás se haya vestido para atraer la atención de alguien simplemente porque ha aprendido a quererse a sí misma de nuevo. ¿Qué opináis? ¿Que sigue de duelo?
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Buah, chaval, no me entero de nada, tío.
I don't know anything about this, sorry. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Esto cada vez que damos fallamos, pasa algo. Es que no entiendo, tío.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
I'll be off.
No entiendo nada del puto juego.
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Pago, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Porque falta documentos y testimonios. En teoría, ¿no? Hostia, no entiendo el puto juego, tío.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Sí, está un poco desconectado.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes, no, not really. Well, in a way.
Tuve unas pequeñas vacaciones.
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Ya me ha costado, madre mía. Persigue un ramo de flores muertas para atraer la atención de la señora Fleming Forrester. Espera que ella entre en la tienda y le dé consejos de riego. O podría ser solamente una señal de su desesperación. Barnes le regaló de forma el cactus que pidió por el catálogo de su mostrador. Una acción cuestionable, pero para Barnes es un símbolo de su amor eterno, ya que el catálogo dice que son cactus, son inmortales. En pocas palabras, el mismo cactus se dejó caer sobre The Strand fuera del... Pasemos ahora a la historia completa.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Bueno, pues ya vamos a seguir, ¿no?
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Es que es un poco...
I couldn't read this morning's
Raro.
edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Hermanita, bien.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
Explosión de aceite seduce el puerto. Los lugareños del puerto de Londres se despertaron sobresaltados anoche, con fuertes estallidos y un humo rojo que interrumpió el descanso. El barco mercante Mosca arribó al muelle número 3 por la tarde en su ruta hacia Europa, cuando se sucedieron varias explosiones que conmocionaron a todos. Aún no han comentado el incidente de las autoridades portuarias y se desconoce si había tripulante a bordo de este momento. Los testigos afirmaron ver una fuga de salitre en el río, pero con la zona está restringida a trabajadores y al público es posible que pase algún tiempo antes de que tengamos una información completa de lo ocurrido.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied,
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
It's brilliant. Let's go.
oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Mansión Stick.
Not much further now.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Escena de investigación encontrada.
Chewing tobacco.
¿Esto qué se supone que es? Una huella, ¿no?
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
¿Esto por qué está esa marca? ¿Alguien sabe? No sé por qué no me deja. Square, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Vale, ahora. Marca de rodilla. Se está escondiendo.
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Si tienes suficientes pruebas, solo puede usar la imaginación para reconstruir el pasado. Del todo Square bien. No entiendo eso, tío. Quiero entender que me faltan todavía nodos, ¿no? Vale. Recuerda fijar la prueba relevante.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Ah, estos sin más son como logros, vale.
A scrap of Hessian.
¿Qué es esto?
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. A small Navy spyglass.
Catalejo de la Marina.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
¿Esto qué es, tío?
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Supuestamente hay que pinchar algo.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? Button chops, the remains of a meal. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold.
No, el tío se colocó. Hablando claro, ¿no?
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. Is this a Taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills. Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone. Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape? Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Elías, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos?
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Sí. Yo también, Togur. Bien. Tío, no entiendo las mecánicas. Elías, otras. Entiende las mecánicas del juego. Que si he visto la Semana Santa, ¿qué voy a ver?
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Es que no entiendo, tío. Es que supuestamente hay que pinchar algo. Pero no entiendo.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
¿Jugaste al 1? ¿Al chapter ese? Te costó el tutorial después. Es que no entiendo nada, tío.
No air coming through it. Is this a taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
¿Y qué tal? ¿Te gustó? Si hay que poner algo, te encantó. Yo lo tengo ahí pendiente, jugué nada, media hora. Lo probé.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Que lo probamos, será igual que esto. Jugamos muy poquito, pero... Procesos de investigación requieren pruebas fijadas. El modo de concentración, algunos puntos de interés se muestran cuando tienes las pruebas relevantes fijadas. Vale, fijar la prueba para usar el modo concentración cuando aparezca este icono en la barra. Vale. Sí, pero tengo que ver cuál es, ¿no? Que supuestamente hay que pinchar una prueba, pero... No entiendo, tío. Vale, ahora la hostia me había parido. Usado con frecuencia marcas paralelas. La hierba no crece aquí.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Las marcas paralelas en el jardín. Los años cerca de la chabola están hechos un desastre, como si alguien los hubiera tirado. Hay marcas parecidas cerca de la chabola. Una creatividad de jardín se solía mantener resguardada de la lluvia. Pero me falta una pista, pues quiero entender. Vale, pues aquí tengo que colocar otra movida para que se me revele. Es por aquí, todo esto. Y todo esto. Sí, este es por el estilo, pero es que no juego nunca un puto juego de estos, tío. En teoría tengo que llevar... Hostia, he tirado. Pero no lo veo. Ángela, buenas. Macho, se ha puesto todas. Tengo ni puta idea. Pero me faltan pistas seguro, tío. Tiro de nada, colega. Buah, chaval. Anda que no hay cosas, tío. ¿Lo que es nuevo esto? puta idea, chaval. Es que no entiendo, tío. No entiendo absolutamente nada. No le pillo el truco al juego. ¿Qué ha pasado? Estoy buscando. No. Ha desaparecido un criado. Aquí, vale. Ah, cojones. O sea, es tan sencillo como ir poniendo esto. Vale. Es que el tutorial deja bastante que desear. Juegos antiguos. Yo soy el primero que juego. Y no me entero de nada. Sí, si no lo niego. Que sea la hostia, pero... Sigue faltando... uno. Este es un remaster, de uno del 2000 y pico. Esto tengo que combinar. Pero me falta... esto. Realmente un mojón. Creo que me falta algo para hacernos aquí la...
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Te odio.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. Where on earth are you going with this? Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Ya, pero no me salía la opción de encontrar una cuarta. Vengo a hablar con este así me da más pistas.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco. Where on earth are you going with this? Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Sí, Elías.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Hemos dado 4 pistas actualizadas, vale. Es un remaster de hace varios años. Pero salió hoy, Elías. ¿Un remaster o un remake? No lo sé. Pero el juego ha salido hoy. Ahora tengo todo. Vale. Ya sí que tengo que buscar la secuencia. Ahora sí que ya tengo todo, sí que tengo que sacar la secuencia, pero adivina qué ha pasado. Vamos a ver. ¿What? quedo igual, tío. Está claro que este no es. Porque no fumaba, no tomaba tabaco. ¿Ves? Lo que ya no sé es cuál de las dos poner. Alguien escupió tabaco, sería esta, ¿no? Pues están viendo para abajo. Vamos a dejar esta. Vamos a la siguiente. Ahora hay que ver. Buen chaval. Anda, la hostia, hay aquí uno. Vale, vamos a poner esto, ¿no? Porque alguien tapó. Supuestamente alguien tapó el conducto. Sí, ahí. Vale, esa la tenemos ahí. Esa la tenemos, creo. Yo soy un puto juego. Claro, que no sé si es... Esta sí no tengo ni puta idea, tú. En principio sí. Vale, esto tiene más sentido, ¿no? Si alguien tapa el tubo, se contamina y este está chungo. O sea, chungo, está inconsciente. Cae por aquí. Bueno, vamos a dejarla ahí. Vale, nos faltaría la carretilla, que es este. Que este no puede ser porque estaría supuestamente inconsciente, ¿no? Este me cuadra más. Y el último sería esto, que sería... vale, Este. ¿Fue el primero? Pues vaya. Ah, claro, estaba con el catalejo ahí mirando. Pero bueno, y el tabaco, bueno, también puede ser. A ver. Pues falla una.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart.
Bueno, si le pillamos el truco a las mecánicas, algo está guay.
Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Vale, ahora sí que hay que usarlo de la mente. Esto hay que usar, vale. Esta clase tenía el secuestrador. Esta. Este. La hostia. Más pistas no puede. No sé, por eliminación, algo, no sé, descartar algo. Qué buen sos tú. Esta. Eso es que sí o que no. Es lo que no entiendo, tío. No, si no espero muchos cambios. Espero que quiero entenderlo. Pero no sé si me salta el tutorial. Es que no, es que no. Es que no tiene sentido, tío. Es que no me deja elegir. Es como si lo hubiéramos hecho mal. Tío, las pistas de quimia. ¿Pero por qué desaparecen, tío? Eso no entiendo. No entiendo. Los colores son... El verde son documentos, que son estos dos. Azul son objetos. Es que no los puedo elegir. Y estos son observaciones, pero es que me faltan cosas, por lo que se ve. Es algo que no... Estos son, ¿ves? Entiendo, tío, es que no, pero no es que no entiendo lo del cacharro mental este de los cojones. De repente deja elegir, no deja elegir.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Voy a hablar con el tío, a ver.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I hear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second
Sí,
wasted.
Pello. Está en
I'm not
Steam,
interested in
PC,
the
Xbox y
how,
PC
the
y Play.
why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and
Salió
go
hoy.
and fetch my servant.
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the Maori people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
Chelsea, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal está la madre?
Is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Bueno. Bien. Desconectando un poco de esto. Jugando mucho con el crío. Al Hulong, que hemos ido ahí matando unos cuantos bosses, y al Fortnite. Hemos estado dándole la hostia al Fortnite. En nivel 70 del Fortnite estamos. Sí, la mecánica es un poco raruna. No, los reyes no, porque nos matan. Nos dedicamos a hacer, o sea, matamos gente, pero cuando nos quedamos entre los 10, cuando quedan 10, nos follan. Vamos a dar un par de partidas solo. Y... Pero hay misiones para hacer, está chulo. El cero construcción me gusta, la verdad que está guay. Tienes misioncillas para hacer, entonces te dedicas a hacer misiones y luego te... está guay. Esto es lo que no entiendo, tío. No, yo creo que no, pero yo... El Vampire tenías la decisión... Ah, no. Yo no he jugado a ninguno de este tipo de juegos. Elías y Ángela me dirán, pero en este, hostias, no hay. En el Vampire, las tomas de decisiones es... Salvabas al tío o te lo devorabas. No sé si hay... ¿En este acción? En este tipo de juegos, Elías. A mí el Vampire me gustó muchísimo. Este de acción, sí, hay tiros y tortas. Pero en el Vampire investigación de este tipo no recuerdo que hubiera. Es más acción. Había... Igual algo había... Hostia, es que hace mucho, pero yo recuerdo que había mucha acción. De hecho, tu personaje, en función de la rama que fueras, o te mantenías humano y... Había zonas de disparos. Pero... Yo creo que en el Vampire lo que es tanta investigación como este no hay, por lo menos no es tan complicada la investigación. No recuerdo no enterarme del Vampire. Es lo que te digo, en función de las decisiones te convertías más vampiro o menos. O sea, te mantenías firme humano o te dejabas al conde Drácula al betún. Y lo que dice el señor Super. Si a medida que te convertías en vampiro tenías poderes para hacer el hijo puta, pero muy bestias. Eso es. Si ibas siendo humano ibas con pistola, pero si te volvías humano, vamos, te teletransportabas, mordías, te sanabas. Estaban muy buenos los poderes que ibas pillando. Este es que no he jugado. Tengo el Chapter 1, pero... ¿Cuánto tiempo te llevo, Elías, te acuerdas? El Vampire no es una aventura gráfica. ...30 horas, La hostia, no tengo tiempo para tanto. Bueno, tiempo no se ganas. Y encima, si no me entero...
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
En un principio estás en Londres, sí.
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
Pues ya tenemos. Se atropella el tarjeta de visita en la escena del secuestro. Roy, Londres. La carta del secuestrado está manchada con una sustancia extraña. El título se ha confirmado que es nitrato de potasio, conocido como salitre. Venga, Ángela. Gracias por pasarte, cuídate. ¿Qué dices? Destacar este día el secuestrador. Uno concreto, un catálogo y las huellas de unas botas de alguien de clase obrera. Todos llevan a la misma conclusión. El secuestro es un marinero. Ah, vale, si no me deja, supuestamente quiero entender que es descartar pista. Vale, esta no me deja cambiar, con lo cual, bueno. Esta no me deja jugar, con esta pista no es. No entiendo esto, ¿eh? Esa no me deja. Esta no me deja así. Es Sherlock Holmes, bello. Sherlock. Me falta ahí que no sé qué es. El puerto de Londres. Vale. Ya sabemos que muy probablemente el secuestrador de Kimia sea un marinero, que su cartera tiene restos de salitre y que hubo recientemente un accidente con salitre en el puerto de Londres. Todo parece apuntar a que para encontrar a Kimia tendremos que dirigirnos al puerto de Londres. No podemos perder tiempo. Es vital que encontremos un taxi al puerto de Londres inmediato.
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Pero ya tenemos todo lo que teníamos que hacer, ¿no? Eso quiere decir que hay pistas. A ver. Ese paso mental, no. No. Sí, pues hay que jugarlo varias veces, la llevamos clara. Bueno, no sé qué significa, pues... Bueno, yo creo que ya está hecho, ¿no? Vamos a Londres.
Where to, Gav? The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Creo que ya juego más que el anterior.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
Do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps, before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once,
No lo sé.
came across an Afghan.
Me imagino que una vez que haces lo del tema mental es que ya está, ¿no?
A gift, he said, so as to gain
Ahora lo miramos.
favor. After that,
Dr. Watson?
yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimahir?
Sherlock Holmes le puede preguntar a los transeúntes por una prueba. Pulsa para abrir el libro de casos. Fíjate con X sobre. Pruébalo ahora con la tarjeta de visita. Maestro en deducción. Quita, quita. Me por culo. No parece que este tenga lo que dices, Elías. Esa dificultad. Puerto Londres, un hombre voluminoso que calza 56 y lleva suelas desgastadas.
Could you help me?
I think I can help you.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Y el otro está guapo, Elías, el Chapter 1. Está hablando muy bien de él, ¿eh?
Are you able to help me?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Do you know anything about this?
Ah, of course I know. To cut a long story short.
Haya ido a ver el barco que explotó ayer cerca del tercer muelle.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Help me, please.
No, sir. I never heard of it.
Bueno, este al final es un remaster. El otro es. O sea, que este la historia debe ser como tipo Lovecraft y, bueno, un poco de terror, suspense, no sé, el otro.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in warehouse too. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Is this familiar to you?
I can't help you with this.
May I ask you something?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
El depósito 2 del puerto fue sometido a una búsqueda por parte de policía tras una denuncia de fantasmas.
Is this familiar to you?
I can't help you with this.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you with this.
Se supone que está el puerto 2. Este es el puerto 3.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts.
Are you able to help me?
The coppers
As much as
even
I'd
went
like to
over
help
there.
you, I know
Must be
nothing of that.
serious.
Excuse me, just one question.
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying home. It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
Y bueno, el mapa es muy claro.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
No hay. Adelante.
me, please?
Oh, sorry, I know nothing.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Depósito 2, este es el 11.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Sitio vives, se va a desaparecer una semana. Por favor, os avisa si le ves. Preguntad ahí en poblado de chabolas del puerto. Ahora por rojo en la entrada de la casa.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Could you help me?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Ah, el 2, mira, aquí está.
Good evening, Constable. I heard some people talking of ghosts in this warehouse.
Gossips, all of them. An old lady neighbour saw some lights and ghostly shapes in the middle of the night. She heard music too. Turns out this was the warehouse of Grandpa Kujak. He owned a business with theatre props for scary shows. I went in and... well, it is a bit creepy. But I think it was probably just some kids fooling around.
Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Not at all. It's like Madame Tussauds, only worse. I'll be on the beat round the pub for the rest of the night. Damned explosion. Good night, sir.
Vale. Ah, imagino, las otras se han puesto en verde. Si se pone en verde es que está hecho, ¿no? Quiero entender. Así vamos deduciendo las mecánicas.
An effective contraption. It still works.
Ahí están los fantasmas, ¿no? Tiene la pinta. Ataúd, tú. Marca
There was a
rectangular.
box in the coffin. It was removed quite recently. They opened the casket and left marks. A herbal odor with an acylic base. Liquor?
Me recuerda un poco al juego este que era del Overcraft, una ciudad que estaba inundada, que iba a ser una lancha, en barca de uno a otro. Tuvo problemas de... lo quitaron de Steam y... Sinking City ese. Llegabas a un sitio y tienes que hacer una exploración, lo mismo. Con otras mecánicas parecidas. Se me hizo súper repetitivo. Y muy vacío el juego. Ya, hostia. Este es mejor, Elías. Ese me lo acabé, pero me esperaba mucho más.
No brand or markings. It looks like a bulk product.
Sí, sí. Este también, ¿eh? Este es la investigación sobre Lovecraft.
Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas. A small cart left those tracks. That's most likely the ghost the old lady saw through the window.
No lo acabaste, yo me lo acabé. Pero me esperaba más.
Inspired by the legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Y un poquito más ya de ti.
Phosphorus, used recently. Where is this going?
Me falta una ruta.
Who is this intended to scare? Who is this intended to scare?
Me falta un... Sí, claro.
Somebody had fun.
Tiene más pinta de que sea así, ¿no? No le veo al otro ahí subido ahí. ¿Y cuál me falta? Una. Ahí está, aquí. No entiendo esta, tío. O sea, llenaba botellitas y luego se las llevó.
Somebody played with phosphorus to give the illusion of ghosts or ectoplasm. In reality, they were here to mix a few ingredients and prepare a solution of some sort. Then they took a box hidden inside the casket. And they left through that gate with a small cart.
Vale, que te aparece en verde. Vale.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in warehouse too. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Pero eso, el libro te lo decían. No sé dónde está lo de la explosión.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Poco mal, sí. Pues está la explosión, tío. O sea, el juego es igual, cambia la historia. Eso debe estar el puerto, tío. Es que, Paco, es un remaster. Por lo que tengo entendido. ¿Ves? Experimenta una espeluznante aventura remake. La oficina reconstruida desde cero con gráficos y diseño de juego modernos. No sé cuándo salió el juego este, pero... Esa es reimaginación del título de 2008, reconstruido desde cero, en Unreal Engine. Gráficos, animaciones modernas, historia expandida, nuevas misiones secundarias, nuevas mecánicas. No sé, pero bueno, ya lo tenéis. Repostera, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Lo que te encanta, Repos.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoot.
Ah, Sherlock.
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy.
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
¿Has jugado al anterior?
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
Now, where was I? I shall take my...
What do you got?
Altura media. Muchas manchas de tinta de sello. Pues... Recuerdo del bolsillo Waltham, impecable de oro macizo. Bien, desconectando. Ah, está en Pamplona, ¿eh? Ha sido totalmente gastronómico. Está fuerte. Pero... estoy jugando mucho con el crío. No vas a estar de vacaciones hasta las 1000. Al Hulon y al Fortnite. Este es en inglés a 1,77 y es de complexión media. Su falta de tonificación muscular indica que no es fuerte, sino no parece que sea el secuestrado de química. La primera izquierda tienen varias manchas de tinta de sellos. Algunas letras siguen siendo visibles. HBQ. Al parecer el señor Sumis trabaja en aduanas. Tiene un flamante reloj Walsh Heights nuevo en el bolsillo. Solo un agente de buenos conductos se lo puede permitir. Ay, ¿qué opináis? Se pongan en perfil. Corrupto, ¿no?
Take my leave.
Ah, da igual, sí. Ah, hostia, pues. Puta mierda.
What are you gawping at? What are you on about? Can't help you there, mate.
Manoli, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos?
What are you on about? What are you on about? Can't help you there, mate.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there?
Que ya mandé a pedirlo, ¿qué? Ah, vale. ¿Qué tal, vale? ¿Todo bien? Mucho lo estaba disfrutando porque no me entero de nada del puto juego.
That boat explosion stopped most traffic coming into the port. Guess I'll be without work for a while.
¿Qué blasfemado? ¿Qué he dicho? No, si yo no digo que... Si yo lo he metido con Sherlock, he dicho que no me entero nada del puto juego. Eso no es blasfemar, es una realidad.
Wonder why people are going missing. Puts a man on edge, you know. I could do with a pint of the cursed mermaid. With the thought of walking in this fog. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel.
Me faltan todavía un montón de movidas, tío. Tengo que buscar a la mujer. No.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Yeah. Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Las mecánicas no están muy...
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
No las entiendo. Igual están bien explicadas, pero no me da.
Are you able to help me?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Sorry, I know nothing.
Pues ahora tengo ni puta dónde tengo que ir tú. No. Ya no te empieza a gustar, tanto el Sherlock. Se te está cayendo un mito. Repos. Bueno, creo que no. 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 Bueno, puedes aguantar 3 días sin beber, no te preocupes. No te vas a morir deshidratada.
May I ask for your assistance?
I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Are you able
Mentira
to help?
nada.
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Pero Derry, por lo menos dabas hostias mientras explorabas. Tienes un mojón.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Dr. Tippett's electric pectobrain. Patent medicine of the future.
This is a patent medicine. A quick fix at an expensive price that drags the patient slowly into death.
Ectocerebro. No, me sigue, está aquí. Marchol me sigue.
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, you're fortunate. I will help you.
Se puede encontrar. Se dispensa en un patio a los enfermos y a los afligidos. Siempre estaba ahí, siempre está ahí. Es mi guardaespaldas.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, sorry, I know nothing.
Tú dirás, chabolas. Pues ahí no sé si están las chabolas, tío. Es que ni siquiera aparece, tío.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
¿Esto os dice algo?
I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel.
Tenemos que ir al pub, pero no está el pub.
I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is.
Ah, chaval, qué mosqueo, tío. No funciona. Hace más pistas todavía, tío. ¿Sabemos dónde está el pub? No tengo ni idea, ¿no? ¿Dónde está el pub?
I don't believe in ghosts. I did when I was a kid. My older brother used to creep outside and whisper at me through the window.
el puff, a ver. Sí, tiene pinta de puff, ¿no? Un poco pesado.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the 3rd pier, next to the dockyard.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
40 pavos. Probablemente tengas el anterior, el que he trabajado. Pues a darle caña al canal para que te lo envíen. ¿Ves? El otro está a 15 y es igual. Ve la historia. Ahora se encuentran las primeras fases del embarazo. De ahí la barriga hinchada y los indicios de náuseas matutinas, los labios cortados y la cara pálida indican una carencia de nutrición. Está claro que no tiene que enterarse de que está embarazada, ya que sigue llevando sus ropas de siempre, que ahora le quedan demasiado ajustadas. Y te gusta la barriga hinchada, pantalones que le quedan demasiado estrechos. Voy a saber que está embarazada, ¿no?
Never heard of it. Have you been drinking?
Joder, no doy una, tú.
Have you been drinking? Have you been drinking?
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
Your clothes are already tight and soon they won't fit at all. How far along are you?
I thought I'd hidden it better. How did you know? Are you a doctor?
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. Would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread. What can I get you? After the incident the other day, it seems customers are staying at home.
Pues vuelvo a estar perdido. No tengo ni puta dónde ir. O sea, me habría que buscar a... Y aquí, ¿no? El poblado de Chabolas. Y bueno, aparece el viaje rápido a... aquí. A las 7 malditas...
Paul, this is Grandma. He'd say in a deep voice. It was scary.
Que vea las notas donde pone que... Soy fisionado, hostia, soy detective.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, sorry, I know nothing. Is there a doctor? A man is very sick here.
It sounds as though those people will need my help.
Venga, acaso no, hala. Ahora voy contra el puto poblado de Chabolas. Me podía por un cartel. Poblado de Chabolas. Ah, no, además. En rosita neón. Tipo puff.
Could you help me?
I can't help you with this.
Pues seguro.
Can I ask you a question?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry. The coffin won't go away. And the doctor's too pricey.
Excuse me, just one question.
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Excuse me, just one question.
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
What are you looking at? You like to watch how a man suffocates himself for food?
Hello, this is Dr. Watson. Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir.
Is this familiar to you?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
El otro se jubiló rápido. Aún lo entendí menos que este.
Dug up treasures, it seems.
Everything ends up in a river. It's a good thing these people take something from it.
The water has a curious whitish tinge to it.
El otro sí, el otro no pasé el primer capítulo. Este, de hecho, hemos ya hecho un capítulo.
The subject is hyperventilating. He has a pale face and dilated pupils. Dilated pupils, decolorized skin, necrosis. What do you make of this, Doctor?
All signs point towards acute poisoning. It could possibly be due to chemicals. I won't jump to any conclusions yet.
Estoy mayor ya, repostea. Necesito ya cosas sencillas. Por eso me lo paso bien con el que juega a Fortnite. Un arma, disparar. A poder ser más de lo que te dispara el contrario. Tan sencillo como eso. Si no estás muerto, se acaba de repetir. Fácil, sin pensar. Ya está. Pues es todo igual, Elías. Pero a ti te gustó, el 1. El chico callejero revela señales de envenenamiento por sustancias nocivas que lleva el agua. Será mejor buscar la fuente de la contaminación aguas arriba.
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Pero cojones, para narrativo me leo un puto libro.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Pile of rotten food. It carries danger, but not of the kind that we witnessed.
La enfermedad se encuentre aguas arriba. Y encima 30 horas. Si fueran 10 te lo compro, pero 30.
Where are we? The field hospital?
The patient has a high temperature and is short of breath.
Si encima te pierdes, 80. Y el juego se pasa bien en 12. ¿Y qué pasa? ¿Tú vas a gatas? Sí, la verdad que al ritmo que voy, tiene toda la pinta de que me lo voy a acabar en 12. Sí. ¿Cuántos capítulos son el anterior? Juegos de fósforo. Casi médico. Parece que el hombre es demasiado joven como para haber terminado los estudios de medicina y por tanto no puede afirmarse ser doctor. Tiene manos manchadas de fósforo seguramente por el atrecho del depósito. Lleva un libro de medicina casera. Está intentando ganar dinero rápido explotando la ingenuidad y la desesperación de las personas. Vamos a hacer este por el chaval.
Good evening, sir. Are you the gentleman who sells that intriguing pecto-brain beverage?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Thomas Tippett, and yes, it's proud.
Ahora este, si lo sabe el mejor charlatán.
Are you a doctor? You seem remarkably young.
I'm self-educated. I help people in need around these parts with my medicine.
Helping, as in bringing to the grave?
That is unfair, sir. The virtues of my invention are to calm the nerves, to stop coughing due to the endless smog, and to help children to sleep.
Has your beverage been tested by your peers or any medical authority? I am a doctor, and it appears that you are playing with people's lives, people who place their trust in you to ease their pain.
People need help, and drugs are expensive. My formula helps, and it's inexpensive. The product is dispensed from here only, so dose and usage are controlled. I looked into other patented medicines. They contain harmful or useless substrate, and they're sold in respected shops and pharmacies.
Do you realize what you are doing? You are playing with people's health.
You're a doctor. Take a look at my product. You won't find mercury, radium, lithium, or any other toxic substances drowned in alcohol and sold freely by so-called health professionals. I can show you how I work. Let me help people.
Watson, what do you make of this situation?
I'm not sure. Patent medicines can be a scourge, yes, but he is not entirely wrong in practice.
Why the haunted warehouse?
Well, nobody was using it, and people are afraid of ghosts. It kept them away until today. What I do is not entirely...
Has empezado el mato animal ese, el mato ese.
I help up to 50 people here every day.
Mato anomalías, ¿no es?
The cart from warehouse 2.
I can hear the patient suffers with their lungs.
De hecho iba a jugarlo hoy ese, pero han puesto este, me han enviado este y dicho, venga, va.
Almost all men die from their remedies rather than their diseases. I want to change that. Damn phosphorus. I thought it was funny, but you can't get rid of it. If everything goes well, I could open a cure centre in Lambeth and even Whitechapel after that.
coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Gruesome. It's been decomposing for weeks. If this were the origin of the disease, it would have started sooner than a few days ago. The waterway goes under the buildings. We'll need to find other open sections in order to continue our search. Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Quierees is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother. She got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
Where did you last see Quierees?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Quierees?
Quierees left it near the shrine. I tried to sell it to buy Amma medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
Don't go anywhere.
I miss Quierees. Do you think he's okay?
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in this... so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick.
Tu cuñado entiende de videojuegos, joder. Combate mucho una puta mierda, el Red no le gusta, es un tío que entiende y la hostia tengo que conocer. Me cae de puta madre tu cuñado. Yo quiero jugarlo, me está llamando mucha atención ese juego. Vamos a entrar. Este está.
fish the last couple of days.
La verdad que buscar un pez aquí, macho, te va a ser como el de los Simpsons con 3 ojos. Vale, de aquí nos salimos. Joder. No. Sí que lo habían disuelto, ¿no? Como que lo habían disuelto, ¿no? Que lo habían absorbido. Joder, que me hago. La hostia sí que cubre. Es el paf otra vez. No, por sí que no. Y eso que digo, el combate es muy bueno, ¿eh? Pero es que lo demás es muy malo, tío, qué pena.
If everything goes well, I could open a cure center in Lambeth and even Whitechapel.
I can hear the patient suffers with their lungs. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
No sé qué hacer, tío, no se puede seguir. Tengo ni puñetera idea. Esto no va a ser suficiente. No. Estas dos sí son, por lo que veo. Pero me falta... Yo me faltaría una verde.
Coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Hostia, pues no sé dónde tengo que ir, tío. Pues es un colgante, pero...
Coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey. The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey. Won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Parece de plata, pero está hecho de hojalata. ¿Y qué?
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Tenemos que ir ahora con... A ver si tenemos que ir ahora con este.
What are you gawping at?
I shall take my
Venga, a
leave.
ver.
What are you gawping?
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Quierees, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog.
Tengo que hablar con el chaval. A decirle que se inventa cosas. Bueno, no sé si inventa cosas, que no sé, joder. Tampoco es tan complicado.
I'm sorry about my English. I try hard, but the rules don't make sense. It's stupid. If I need to, I'll work to support my family. Just like my brother. Emma's gone and Quierees too, so I will be staying here.
Vamos a seguir. Pensaba que teníamos una pista, pero la he perdido. Y luego aguas arriba, ¿dónde hay aguas arriba? Si es que aquí no hay nada más. ¿Tres cojones, Elías, cabrón? Esto es polvo, tú.
May I ask you something?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, sorry, I know nothing.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout, with a silver ball in place of a missing eye.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a Dirty Summers?
He likely signed on with a ship. I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
Somers el sucio secuestrador. ¡Vamos! Bueno, pues ahora tenemos que ir a hablar con otro, ¿no? Tiene toda la pinta, ¿no?
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though.
¿Cuál es la relación de Snowy con el delito?
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be serious.
¿Cuál es el secreto?
Give me one moment. Mr. Soulsby.
Ahí va, te voy a dar más.
A man named...
Vale, y otra es la misma, ¿no?
Your call...
You cannot be serious.
Si te enteras lo que hace, está guay. Me imagino que la historia será interesante, ¿no? En estos juegos.
It's true. And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems. I did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to his business in the warehouse area. Just that. On my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall. But I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He's a regular at the Cursed Mermaid. Goes there with his crew almost every evening.
What for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
El detalle está muy bien. Sobre la toma de decisiones cambia muchísimo el juego. Tengo que encontrar almacenes. Pero yo tampoco me jugaría dos juegos como el de Detroit seguidos, muy seguidos. El Heavy Rain es el del asesino, ¿no? Me gustó mucho el Heavy Rain. Si es ese, me gustó muchísimo. El otro lo jugué, que lo tenía. Venían dos. ¿Cuál es el otro? Heavy Rain nos viene en un pack. Y 8 soles, ese no. Me lo puse, pero no llegué a profundizar. Negocios es un depósito marcado con pintura roja. Pues eso era.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about dirty summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir.
Enough. I have hard evidence that Summers was involved in recent kidnappings across London.
I'm not surprised. So what?
¿Qué relación tiene con el camarero?
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here. You must know something about his business.
All I know is his drinks order.
Está embarazada de él. Fijo.
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
Many people are missing, and the main suspect based himself in your establishment. One word to Scotland Yard and your life takes a turn for the worse. Now, spare yourself the trouble and tell me all you know.
Okay. Summers hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key, go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
Vale, ¿y ahora qué? Bueno, para poder abrir la sala privada del pub. ¿Dónde está la sala privada del pub?
£5. That won't go far.
Factura de lona. No. Trabajo de tarde. Trabajos, pero voy enseguida, ¿eh? Me gustaría acabar el capítulo, pero es que va a quedar. Trabajos mover cajas en la zona de los depósitos Summers. El sucio contrata pues... Pero no, yo creo que habrá que hacer... La idea es irnos a ver enseguida.
Strange symbols. I don't recognize them.
pensado, Los problemas de puesto, especialmente para transportar cajas de lona. Es probable que los secuestrados sigan el depósito de lona, que debería estar marcado con pintura roja.
We must go.
Oh, no. No chance of a pint, then.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
What did you see of Summer's work here? He was recruiting people?
It was like the whole world came through my door. People of all creeds and colours, but always strong, always tall. They seem like workers or journeymen. Beyond that, there's not much more to tell. I took his money and let him be.
And this lasted how long?
Several weeks, I wager. The people here are resilient. Tomorrow it'll all be forgotten.
Le cojo el ritmo y luego me vuelvo a perder. Pintura roja, ¿sé cuál es, tío? El 12.
I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is.
Si lo que hemos visto con pintura roja es el 12, ¿no? En teoría. Pero no me acuerdo dónde está el 12.
A recent cart crash. A ver si se abre esta puerta una puñetera vez. Vale, ahora. Joder.
¿Y esto? Venga, descansa, cuídate. Oh. Uno para abajo, casi, y uno para arriba. A ver.
Really, Holmes, this ought to be beneath you. As my brother would say, it is for the greater good.
Por igual también lo dejamos aquí, ¿eh? ¿Se puede guardar? Sí, igual se puede guardar. Perfecto. Pues lo dejamos aquí, que son las 3 de la mañana ya. Bueno, sí, las 3 de la mañana. Las 3:15. Creo que ya vale, ¿no? Bueno, pues ahí lo tenéis. Recién salido del horno, muchas reseñas positivas. ¿Ves? Mecánicas parecidas a la anterior que no jugamos. Ah, es continuación directa. Mira, pues lo sabíamos. Espera, está ahí puesto ahí. Bueno, pues yo creo que le seguiremos dando, ¿eh? No me desagrada, no juego nunca al juego, igual le damos. Gente, ya sabéis, un buen like, un buen comentario. Mañana más y mejor. No sé a qué le daremos, pero algo. No sé si alguna cosa nueva o seguiremos jugando cosas para ir acabando juegos. No lo sé. Mañana sí, pasaos cuando tengo cena. Bueno, gente, gracias por estar ahí, como siempre, un placer. Adiós. Venga, hasta mañana. ¿Algo que nos puede dejar? Aquí os dejo. Amiga. Ahí se ha ido Elías. Pues nada, es que me cae, chico. Con ese, ¿cómo se llama? Un gran nombre. Venga, gente, hasta mañana.